Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Valley Indy 2023 Great Give live stream. Joining us is a man who needs no introduction. You know him, you love him. It's Derby Mayor Rich Dziekan. How's it going,
Eugene,
Mayor Dziekan?
good. I'm doing great, Eugene. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. You think I could get a job on WPLR or no?
Absolutely. Want me to call Chaz and AJ for you?
Those guys seem to be fit. I don't understand that. These radio guys are so fit. It's because they have too much time on their hands. I don't have any time to work out or anything like that. I'm living the real life, Mayor Dziekan.
Yes, you are. You're there, Eugene. You were in the dungeon for a little while during the COVID and all that, right?
It's still the dungeon. I just put up
Oh,
some. I just steal all my children's toys and like
nice.
whatever wall touches. But all right, the first thing I want to ask is political. You've
Okay,
got, huh? What'd you say?
Yeah, you said, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you've got a challenge from within your own party coming up. You're running for re-election, and then you've got a traditional Democratic opponent.
Yes.
Are you going to go for the GOP nomination from your own party? Come like that's usually in July.
You know, I'm looking at it. I'm trying to see what the RTC, what the feel is on the pulse over there, and then you only have so many number of votes over there. You know, I'm still trying to gather some votes, and I'll tell you right now, Eugene, I'm definitely going to be on the ballot in November.
Okay, and I should tell people in case they're not following the political system. What happens is a town committee gets together, and it's a small number of people. Whoever shows up for that particular meeting, they're on the town Republican committee, let's say in this instance, and then they vote to formally endorse candidates for mayor and all the other ones. So the question is whether the mayor will get the backing, and he's saying that he's still looking for votes. But you're running either way, so you're not ruling out an independent run, essentially.
Absolutely. And you know what? If you look around the city of Derby, I'm looking outside this morning, all the hammering away going outside, 34 widening project, trolley point going up. You know, there's so much progress going on. And you know, I put my faith in the voters. I mean, they see what's going on. You know, they're not involved in the weeds. You know, they get up in the morning, they bring their kids to work or school, and you know they go to work, and it's, you know, they want taxes lowered. I tried to lower it, but that didn't happen this last time around. So, you know, I'm working for the people, and they're going to see it. And if they don't, listen, I had a great 6-year run, but I got more in me to get things done in Derby. So I'm very excited for it. So.
And then what the mayor's saying right there with the taxes is that as of this recording, we're recording this a few days before the Great Give, but last week Derby Boat met. They adopted a budget with it keeps the tax rate as is, but the mayor's budget had lowered it by 0.4 of a mil.
Yes.
Right. But the tax board opted to spend a little more, and now we have no tax increase. But the mayor's saying it would have been less had they adopted his budget. The other thing I wanted to ask you about, you mentioned Trolley Point. That's the former Life Touch building. I think it's 90 Main Street.
Yes.
That's progress, right? It's actually happening. We're seeing some construction there taking place right next to this Route 34 widening, which is very much underway, which I never thought that would happen.
Yes, and you know that's what I feel great about. I mean, look at what's going on. And I mean, people see it. I mean, they driving down. They're like, and it's funny. They're like, oh, I drove down downtown Derby, and you know, got into the traffic. I go, no, that's progress. You know.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's a traffic jam because of what's going on. Yeah, you just got to you got to avoid Main Street a little bit. I have to do that every day. But then before that, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
In a year and a half, I mean, it's going to be finished. The bridge over here is going to be finished. Trolley Point's going to be up. Cedar Village up on the top on Caroline is going to be up and running. They're going to be starting very shortly. Start removing all the dirt and everything.
That's right behind Bar None or Connie's, or I always get the name of it. Retro. Now it's called. It's behind that.
Caroline and Minerva Street.
I do all my landmarks from whatever the bar is. I apologize. That might be your problem, but that's another. It's going to be it's a junk property that's been abandoned for years, and it's being redeveloped into housing.
Yep. That, and then they just started doing the pour on the 1-million-gallon tank for water over on Chatfield Street,
right next to the high school property down the corner. Yep.
So that's going to volume and supply for the west side. So, we're just we're moving forward, Eugene.
And
We
then
got a
the
lot
problem
done.
with the west side, that tank is needed because there was one time there's a big fire,
Yes.
especially up on the hill, like above where the tank is, where the condos are,
Yeah.
heading back towards, you run out of water, essentially.
Right.
That was the argument there. And then sticking with, you got Trolley Point, then behind Trolley Point, we got Beretta and Lepore had a business deal to develop a couple hundred units of housing. But then it hasn't moved forward. I've heard, what's the latest with that
The
project?
last thing I'm hearing is lawsuits on that. They're going back and forth. The court system's running. Plus, with the pandemic going on, unfortunately, that was pushing some things back. Or hopefully there's other interested parties looking at that. It's amazing the number of people that come through here, and now that they see the progress going on here, they want to, especially the waterfront next to the levees. I keep looking this way because I'm looking at the levees here, and it's just like I see Shelton over there, and they got that waterfront property, and the people like to see it.
A lot of activity over in Shelton. It's amazing.
And there's so much activity going here. And you brought up politics and stuff like that. It's amazing how people want to, all of a sudden now they want to jump in. And I did all the leg work over here, leg work. And now next thing you know, it's like, hey, I want to take credit for this. So,
And then,
you know what? It is politics. What do you do?
Sticking with downtown Derby for another moment,
Yep.
The big thing is the scrapyard is there. I know there's been negotiations underway for at least a year to try to pay the scrapyard property owner, not necessarily the scrapyard itself, because I don't know if they actually own the property, but whatever, whoever owns that property, trying to buy them out, get them relocated somewhere else. And I know that's a tough negotiation.
It is. The eminent domain right now, and they have a new lawyer that's going in right now. Sorry about that.
That's
they have
okay.
A new lawyer going on right now, so they're bringing them up to speed.
A new lawyer, you
yes,
said.
Yeah,
okay.
For them. And then, so we brought them up to speed. The state is working with us. Rosa DeLore's office also worked with us, federal money coming in here for land acquisitions and stuff like that. So it's slow but steady. I mean, we're moving forward. It took this long to the Winding project, Trolley Point in Cedar Village. So I mean, it's moving. It's definitely moving forward.
And then we talked Lepore, we talked Trolley Point, we talked the scrapyard. The other thing that I didn't get a chance to report on because I'm overwhelmed, but the Greenway project. You're applying for a grant. Roger Salway is your new economic development director, and he and the city, with the approval of the alderman, are going for a grant to replace a bridge, replace the fencing, and what else? Make some improvements to the Derby Greenway, which is the most popular greenway in the state.
Okay. Yes.
Riverwalk. What am I saying? Greenway. Well, I think technically it's a greenway. I don't know.
Yeah, you got both sides.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I mean the bridge. The footbridge that's there wasn't maintained properly over the years. And so that's about $500,000 right there. And then to redo all these fence posts, and we want to put lighting and these new, technology is the way it is right now. You can put cameras, everything is solar. And so there's less intrusive, but you can't go, we can't go into the levees or anything. So this is a good fit to get some more security, lighting there. And we had to build it up for a few bucks to meet the grant. And so with our grant writer Natasha, with Roger, they're finding things that are out there that we're trying to make it better for the citizens. And then also, as we're down there, let's talk about the pier that's going up. So we have an 80-foot pier, observation fishing pier that's going to be up by the end of the summer, they're saying.
Yeah, they're making really rapid progress. That thing's pretty amazing because I'm trying to find see if I can bring up a photo of it real fast. That thing's been talked about for like 100 years, but now it's happening.
Right. I think it was GE when they polluted all the rivers and stuff. That was part of the super fund that they did, and this is the money that came out of that. So it's going to be handicap accessible, parking, and able to get out there. And really, yes, that's it. And that's what it looks like right now. And they were able to do this because it's amazing with the fish migration. They weren't able to do anything into the river, but they got that done, and they got the approval with DEP. And
that's going to bring new life to O'Sullivan's Island.
Absolutely.
And it's a beautiful piece of land right there, but it's passive recreation. There's a cap on it from old time pollution, but here is something that's going to bring people downtown. It's of course perfectly safe as long as you don't go dig in the dirt. It's all been checked out and tested, because that always comes up as well. There's another shot of it right there.
And we also have a company that's coming in there with kayaks. and with the alderman approved that. So you'll be
Oh,
able to go
right.
down, rent the kayaks and check the river out. And I'll tell you, whoever does that, go bring a pole with you, because there's so many fish down there, stripers. You can fish off a kayak. And it's just so beautiful down there. I was down there the other day. It's just so relaxing to go down there. So please come down, enjoy that Greenway in O'Sullivan's Island.
And I forgot about the company that was approved there. They're doing a
Yep.
lease for like $1, and was it Scoot and Paddle? They were originally
Scoot and Paddle, yes.
they spent a year or two on Roosevelt Drive, from what I
Mhm.
understand, and now they're going to be
And they're in
moving in down
Milford
there.
too. Yeah.
That's
So,
right, Milford's where they're like their base
right.
of operations. So that's a lot of stuff going on there. What else do you want to mention, Mayor? Because I know, like, what happened here, we taped this in advance. I told the mayor it was 11 a.m., but it was actually 11:30. Then I sent the entire city of Derby a nasty email saying you stood me up for a meeting, when, of course, it was my fault, because that's the story of my life. It's Ansonia. Ansonia's got me all mad. Mayor Cassetti's always messing with me.
Yeah, things happen. What are you going to do? We're here, though. So I was able to, called you 5 minutes ago, and here we are.
And we're just making it happen. But we ran through a lot of my topics already. What else do you got going on? Oh, the parking garage. Let's talk about the big heaping hunk of metal that is the parking garage. And it kind of blows my mind. I'm not supposed to editorialize, but the city puts this big grant forward, and then it doesn't get funded, where it just seems to me, I don't understand how the state or the feds can't fund a project like that, because it's so important to economic development.
Let me tell you a quick story. I was coming down through New Haven. I think it's Temple Street Garage next to Gateway. So as I'm coming down, I see this big white sign that's up by the water tank that says Ned Lamont funding this garage refurb and everything like that. And I'm looking at that. I go, that's exactly what the city of Derby needs. And a number of times I talk to the governor and the senators and everybody else. I go, if you would pump to 20 million into this city, you're pumping hundreds of millions into the big cities, but the little Derby, if you pump that amount, we could take care of the garage. We could take care of other little projects that need a little punch in the arm to really get them going. But it's just like, here we go. We go through everything. We presented our case, and they're like, yeah, 9.1 million is too much. And the alderman, I give them credit, because they offered to put $500,000 in through the ARPA funds to fund this. And it's just like, once again, the valley is like put on the back burner. But listen, if you don't help us out, the garage isn't going to be functional. And then you're going to have a great 34 coming through, and you're going to have a great, buildings coming up and people living here. But if we don't have a garage here, I mean, that's what Hartford needs to really know. I mean, give us the money. I mean, we're not going to spend it frivolously. We're going to do what we need to do for infrastructure here.
Yeah, that was a real head scratcher. Even as a reporter, I'm like, well, it's almost like, because Derby is so small, but it has the same type of issues. It's economically distressed, and I live in Derby, so I am biased here. But like the garage needs help, and there's no way the city can finance that, and that's why we have the federal and state government to step in, because that's a project that's bigger than one city. So hopefully but you can reapply. Is that right? Or is it?
Yes, we are. I mean, we're going to continue. We're going to try federal. I mean, we're hopefully the governor listens to this and say, wow, you know what? Maybe we should pump a couple extra bucks to our distressed little town that needs it. And but because every time the governor comes down, I say, you're in the center of Connecticut. 34, Route 8, 15, everything is right here. Everybody comes through. There's 50, 60,000 cars a day come through downtown, and they're finally, they got the trains and everything going on there. But guess what? Now we need parking. So we need a little bit more, and just help us out. We're not asking for, I don't know, anything crazy. We're asking for something so people can park.
It's functional
and come down and shop in Derby and turn it into the destination place it should be, and come down here and shop and eat, and go down to Dewdrop, hang out with Eugene every once in a while.
I'm banned, unfortunately. I didn't want to bring that up, but thank you. But no, I can't go in. The Dewdrop's too fancy for me now. You need reservations, so that's above my pay grade. But yeah, that garage was a head scratcher. But on the other hand, the city now has a grant writer. The city now has economic development director, and would you agree that well, yeah, you have to have those things, right? There's no other way to do this.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and they've been working. Listen, I had my job as a cop. I knew how to navigate through the bureaucracy and get things done. Roger knows things with economic development. Natasha knows things for grant writing. You need your little niches to get things done. You can't do it all by yourself, which I'm so grateful that they're here and they're picking stuff up because there's so many of these grants coming in right now. A lot of them are matching. And like I said, we got this ARPA fund that we got a couple million still in there that we're trying to use. We're using it for first responders and stuff, and we got to use it before we lose it. So
bought an ambulance. I think
yes.
you're buying turnout gear, or actually, I don't know if that's part of the budget or part of ARPA.
We need. We're looking at a fire truck, rescue truck, rescue / pumper. So we're trying to do more with less. If we can get rid of one truck and combine it. So I mean, we got to give our firefighters the tools to keep us safe. So.
Right, and you're saving millions by having a volunteer department as highly trained as Derby Fire Department. It's incredible. All right, Mayor. Hey, that was 15 minutes and 44 seconds. I said it would be 15 minutes. We went over something like 6 or 7 topics, and that's that. I want to thank you so much for taking a few minutes of your time. Okay.
Anytime, my friend. You know that.
All right. Have fun with your brother. You said your brother's visiting. God bless.
Yeah, he just came in from Phoenix, so I'm stopping down to see him today. So
have a great time.
All right. Take care. Bye.